with the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Well, hello there, my little hassle maniacs. Welcome to the show today. It's a beautiful Tuesday out. Jay Bird.
Oh, gorgeous.
Just laying out in the sun before he got here.
I do have a little bit of tan on my face, and it has nothing to do with being out in the sun today. It had everything to do with watching softball over the weekend.
I thought the neighbor ladies were admiring your
No,
nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. No. But we've got a fun day today. We've got, first things first, beautiful weather out. Finally, we have this happening. Doesn't matter that it's the end of April or not, you know.
Right.
March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Okay.
April showers bring May flowers.
Mayflowers bring
Pilgrims.
That's right.
That's right. So if you've lived here, you know long enough how this works here in the Midwest. It's not any surprise, and it doesn't really ruffle my feathers and get me all upset when it's like, I don't know, 37 degrees in April day, and then it turns around and 80 the next day.
It's 80. You know, it was 80 yesterday. It's gonna be 80 today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow it's gonna be cold and rainy.
It's not going. It's not going to.
Oh, all right.
It's gonna rain overnight.
Okay.
It's not going to stick very much tomorrow. In my old age, I used to say, like, yeah, whatever, about this whole river splitting things.
Yeah.
But, like the last 5-6 years, I've paid attention to the weather because my kids and their sports. And if you really look at it, that river really does split storms.
Especially if they come out of the north.
Yeah. And it's not like, and we were talking about this last night.
Comes out of the south,
friends.
we're screwed, especially in the wintertime.
But I was talking amongst friends last night, and I said I really doubt that the Weather Channel app is sitting there being like, well, here's the Quad Cities. We got to make it look like the radar is going to split just to make them happy. Like, just look at it. It is what it is. So, yeah, a crazy week going on this week. I can't say this enough about how oddly excited I am about Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
And I've never, it goes back to like,
I made another change in my draft too.
Okay, rarely though do I like go out of my way and be like, oh, you know, the draft's coming up or whatever else. I mean, I know I've texted like, you know, our friend Tommy Naki, he's a Cleveland Browns fan, right?
Yeah.
I remember texting him sometime, be like, oh, you know, Trent Edwards is the pick. That's what everyone's saying. But never was I really like, ever like, oh, over the top. As excited as I think this one is. And it's fun that not even just here with the 2 hours with you or the callers that we have and the people on Facebook Live to talk to, but I mean, we were talking last night. I was talking to, well, you know, Dan Escontrias, and he's a fan of the 49ers, and we were going back and forth, and he's telling me that, he's like, I don't see Fields. He's like, I don't see it. He's like, I think they like Trey Lance, or it's Mac Jones. I'm like, it's just a fun thing to go back and forth about because I really think.
There's some people out there right now. I was just reading Twitter before we came on. They think Justin Fields is equivalent of Deshaun Watson.
The equivalent of what, he's going to fall and then be a star, or
yeah, I mean, and not that he's going to, not legally, not none of his legal issues that he's got going on. I'm talking, his performance on the field.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
So I mean, it's all a guessing game right now. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, your thing is, if you're doing like what I did, try to identify the needs the best you can. Try to go to multiple sources and then go from there. And then on top of that, you know, if you weren't able to watch every one of these guys, which obviously I wasn't, but then you go to multiple sources and you look at player rankings and you try to get the most consistent, you know, knowledge that you're getting. All right.
Okay.
So if 10 out of 10 guys say that, Patrick Surtain is the number one corner in the draft, then he's the number one corner in the draft.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If they're saying Penny Sewell is the best tackle in the draft, Vera Tucker's the best O-lineman in the draft. If you're getting, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 consistently saying the same thing, all right, then you know where you start to rank things, and that's kind of how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, teams themselves kind of do crazy things. Listen, I went through last year's draft, for example, and I was 100% convinced that Tristan Wirfs was the number one offensive tackle in this draft. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Mekhi Becton was the second best.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Giants thought it was Andrew Thomas, and they took him.
Yeah.
And then Becton went, and then Wirfs went.
Yeah.
That being said,
Wirfs ended up being the best out of them.
But Wirfs ended up being the best. But draft-wise, these teams have different opinion. It's all opinion. It really is.
It's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So we're no different than anyone else, but we fall for this stuff. We fall for like the press conference yesterday of the 49ers, and we fall for the headlines that things like ESPN.com will place that say like the 49ers like 5 guys at number 3. No, the 49ers like 5 quarterbacks. That's what you're clicking on. It's not like they're going to bring out all of a sudden there's a safety that they really like or a wide receiver.
Right.
It's 5 quarterbacks. Do you want me to tell you who the 5 quarterbacks are?
Let's see. Let me guess.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's one of them.
Zach Wilson.
That's another one.
Justin Fields.
That's another
Trey
one.
Trey Lance and Mac Jones.
That's all 5. 5 out of 5, yeah. Those are the 5. Come on. And the thing is they could trade out of it as well. I've been looking at different things.
There's a scenario I just saw. I can't think of her name. It was on my Twitter feed. And she writes for a different place. Very insightful, very good. She did 2 full rounds of the draft, and she had Miami trading out at 6 to 9 with Denver.
I would not be shocked by that at all. And not one bit.
And at the time, so then Miami still. So here's the deal, and here's why I think in her scenario it happened. Atlanta takes Kyle Pitts at 4, and Cincinnati took Sewell at 5. So I think what they were thinking there is, okay, we're falling back to 9. They're going to take a quarterback at 5, or I'm sorry, at 6. So that being said, does Detroit or Carolina take their receiver? Well, they felt that they could either get Chase or Waddle still. And I think that's what they did.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it.
I can see that happening. Because Miami is just they're freaks when it comes to their front office is just playing chess right now. I think them and the 49ers front office are in the last couple of years have really done
Agreed.
the most to me.
100%, I agree with that. And right now, I'm telling you, if I'm Atlanta, I'm actually trading out of the 4.
And here's the deal: there's going to be dudes that fall that we thought, man, that dude's going. People are going to fall. That it happens every draft.
The thing is, does anybody want to trade up to the 4 and create that Chicago situation of Trubisky, like to overreach for Trey Lance? I mean, I'm not sold on Trey Lance. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm no offense to North Dakota State or anything, but I mean, he was a 3-star coming out of high school. He was, the big ones, the Power 5s, all wanted to be wide receiver or cornerback. I'm not sold on him. So, and I'm not sold on Mac Jones either. I'm going to go with, the pedigree of traveling around the country, doing 7-on-7s, do whatever else, and Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, that should be 1 and 2. I'm not sold on Zach Wilson at all either.
Okay.
Zach Wilson to me could be Josh Rosen at 2.0. That's a scary thing. That's an absolute scary thing that you're going to put them. And by the way, the New York media is going to eat that kid up. It's the Jets. That poor kid. What's going to happen is going to be.
And it's so sad that you have to say something like that, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
That the media are such scoundrel.
Oh, yeah, they're
just terrible human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? They're just playing a dumb game.
Other housekeeping things to talk about. Well, Jordan Bohannon's coming back for a 6th year.
Yeah. You know how I feel about him. I'm not excited about that. I don't know if it helps the team at all. I mean, in development,
let's just put it the way Kaker did. If Iowa can have, and he plays the 2, and you're going to have someone who shoots this into this as a graduate transfer, would you take it? And everyone says yes in a heartbeat. So we'll take it as that. As far as everything else goes, well, all right, J-Bo. I love what you're doing. I think you're using your platform the best that you can, but also don't give us an ultimatum if you're not going to follow through with the ultimatum. And that was if Iowa would pass the bill for the name, image, and likeness bill, he'll come back to Iowa. Well, the bill's still sitting there. So don't give an ultimatum if you're not going to follow through. It's just that's the name of the game. Yeah. But again, it's gonna be good for Iowa basketball. He's going to be a leader in the clubhouse, and sometimes you need that. If the changing of the guard happens, sometimes you just need not the guy who sits
How many
there and says,
records does he end up breaking?
He will end. He's 11 3-pointers away from breaking the Big Ten all-time Big Ten 3-point shot, and it's held by an Ohio State kid that I can't name at the top of my head. I think he's 11 3-pointers away from that.
Does he have an asterisk next to it?
You would think, someone will say something about it.
We're going to sit here and pick apart Mad Bum's no-hitter, and this kid's going to break 400 records because he goes to college for a decade?
Yeah.
All right, come on. That's fine. I don't have anything against him. I just my thing is just I feel if he goes in and plays the same role, we're holding back Joe T. I like Joe T a lot.
Joe T will run the point. He'll go to the 2.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I like Joe T a lot. I want to see him develop more. I wanted to see a younger athletic team. I don't feel he's younger or athletic, but that's fine. Whatever. I'll still be a fan.
More stories across the way. Yesterday we talked about how LeBron sent out a tweet.
Yeah.
Didn't go over well. Cincinnati bar owner says we're not going to show any NBA games. Well, I just want to read this to you.
Okay.
This was penned by a Los Angeles officer. His name is Dion Joseph. Mm-hmm. He's a well-known Los Angeles Police Department officer. Happens to be also African-American. Wrote an open letter, but a letter to LeBron. Okay? Dear LeBron, I am not going to come at you from a place of hatred. There will be no name-calling. I was raised to see the whole of a human being, not to hyper-focus on their flaws or make said flaws the whole of who they are. I'm an honest man. What you do for the children and other acts of charity show a huge heart. You show to be a family man, and that's to be respected. You play for the team my family has cheered since the 1960s, then myself since 1979. But your current stance on policing is so off-base and extreme. Your tweet that targeted a police officer in Ohio who saved a young woman's life is irresponsible and disturbing. It showed a complete lack of understanding of the challenge of our job in the heat of a moment. You basically put a target on the back of a human being who had to make a split-second decision to save a life from a deadly attack. A decision I know he and many others wish they never had to make, especially when it involves someone so young. Instead of apologizing, you deflected. You said you took your tweet down because you did not want it to be used for hate, when the tweet itself is the embodiment of hate, rooted in the lack of understanding of the danger of the situation. I don't know if this will ever reach you, but my hope is that one day I can sit down with you and talk. As a man of faith, I can have no hatred towards you, but I do feel I can help you understand the reality of the profession of policing, and that there is another side you need to hear. You are tired of black folks dying, so am I. You hate racism and police brutality, so do I. But you cannot paint 800,000 men and women who are of all races, faiths, sexual orientations, and are also mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, preachers, coaches, community members, and just human with such a broad and destructive brush. Unlike some who have dug their heels in the belief that police are inherently evil, I think if you yourself actually sat down and had a real honest and open conversation with a cop, there is a strong chance you may discover we are not the monsters you have come to believe we are, and who deserve the hate and disdain you have. And even if you come away feeling the same way, I can respect it, because at least you gave the other side of your ear instead of only hearing one narrative. The offer's on the table, LeBron. No cameras, no fanfare, just two men who care talking. I know it's a long shot, but this division and hatred must stop. It's clear based on rising crime and marginalized communities that cops and communities and the community need to build bridges to save lives on all sides. That cannot be through the demonization of any group of people. Just putting it out in the universe, brother. Even if not me, please take the time to talk to a police officer instead of judging them. No shade. Thanks for all the positive things you do. Couldn't have written anything better myself, and if you would have given me 30 days to write it. And this man sat down and wrote an open letter to him, and he's absolutely 100% correct. And the idea of no cameras, no fanfare, and this and that, let's just talk. And I do believe he is right, that LeBron would turn around and say, dang. You can't put a target on someone else's back that you don't know what they're going through. You can't do that without saying, I've walked a mile in their shoes. I don't know too much about it. I know the video. I've seen the photo. I know everything else. But I'm just saying that we need to be responsible for how much we influence people. And I think this officer is in making the right judgment by calling him out and saying you need to be responsible for who you influence. And I don't care if it's hour and a half away or 45 minutes away. This man is a Los Angeles cop, and LeBron should reach out to him.
You know, he kind of touches on something that was widely, an opinion that was widely spread at the January 6th events.
Sure.
That the president at the time was responsible for the insurrection because of his words on Twitter or whatever else.
Sure. Yep.
And so he's kind of turning this onto him, onto LeBron, the same type of mentality, saying, hey, you're being irresponsible by what you say because you influence people because of who you are. And I think that was what the gist of what they were trying to say about Trump at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. I mean, I tend to see the truth in those statements. That someone of influential power, and whether it's elected or not elected, their words have meaning to some. Mm-hmm. And I would just hope that, you know, as we grow, we tend to not, you know, even if they're out there listening to you or you don't need to take my opinion as gospel. You know what I mean? I
True.
Know, yeah. You know,
100%.
Whatever. Yeah. Not that I'm LeBron James, for God's sakes. But yeah, I think, you know, I kind of said it yesterday. Form your own opinions. Don't let people influence you so much. Try to. You know, I know it's hard. And there's people who probably every one of us respects. So if they say something, we look at it and be like, yeah. So. Anyway, that's a great letter.
Yeah, it's great. I applaud him for reaching out and writing that letter. Other things to go through. 12:30, we're going to talk to Emily Van Buskirk.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk to her about the draft. Second hour, I have a very, very fun game for you. You're going to love this game, T-Roy. I'm telling you right now. Everybody out there that are listening on the radio or on Facebook Live, they're going to love playing at home with this game. This is a game that everybody's opinion can be thrown out there.
Does it involve stretchy pants?
It does not involve stretchy pants or leggings or anything like that.
Right. Well, I was just asking.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yeah.
Remember that game that was at F, Marry, Kill?
Yeah.
I'm going to do one like that for you. But it's called Start, Bench, Cut.
I think Emily started this game.
She did.
All right.
Absolutely she did.
All right.
So I'm going to steal it from her.
Well.
But, again, I'm going to give you a little bit of excitement. I'm going to look at, in the past, during the Super Bowl era, the top draft picks, 1 through 32 since in the Super Bowl era.
Okay.
I'll give you the top 3, and you're going to have to decide out of that 3. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 15 or what. I may say, like, hey, we're going to do pick number 15. Here are the top 3, in my opinion, at number 15 of all time in the Super Bowl era.
Okay.
And you're going to have to decide. Start, bench, cut.
All right. I love it.
I think you're going to have a good time. I think the people out there
I'm
as well.
excited.
Going to. This day in history, sports-wise. April 27th. You want a hint?
Yeah.
Okay, April 27th, 1908. 113 years ago today.
Cubs drought starts? No, wait a minute.
Oh, that's a good call. But no, they want it. Yeah.
It's baseball.
It's not baseball. No.
First running of the Kentucky Derby.
We are going to talk about the Kentucky Derby because they're posting the slot times where they're at. Not slot times, but the post positions. We're going to talk about that because there's some cool names in there.
Am I right?
No, it's not the Kentucky Derby either.
1908. It's not baseball.
No, it's not.
Oh, boy. Jack Johnson wins the
You're just making up stuff. I mean,
well,
you're right.
But yeah,
you're right, but no, it's not that either. It is the London Olympics in 1908 began. A couple of reasons why this is important. It was originally supposed to be in Rome, but because of the 1906 eruption of Mount Vesuvius, it was moved to London. At this point in 1908, the most nations and athletes participated in these Olympics. It was actually the longest games ever also. It lasted 187 days.
And they were worried about Mount Vesuvius again?
Well, in 1906, you don't move goods as fast as they do now. So they're like, hey, they erupted and we can't, our Olympic Village.
The first time that thing erupted, it really messed some stuff up.
I know. Maybe that's it. Yeah, they were just like, hey, we can't do this.
Yeah, we don't want Pompeii.
187 days. This lasted from April to October, this Olympics.
Okay.
Because back then they didn't have the Winter Olympics. So actually figure skating was involved in this Olympics.
Okay.
United States fell second in the medal count.
To
Great Britain.
Okay.
The most important part of this in 1908 is the marathon.
Okay.
You know how everyone does like 26.2?
Yeah.
Do you know where the .2 comes from?
Because that's the distance it was ran from the.
I'm going to tell you because of these Olympics where it came from. It went from 26 miles to 385 yards. It started here in the 1908 Olympics because of royal wishes. The starting line was moved so the Princess of Wales and her children could see it from the royal nursery. And it was also added a little bit more to make sure that the runners would finish in front of the King's Royal Box at White City Stadium. So that 385 yards is royalty saying, we want to watch the beginning of this, and we want it to end right here.
There you go.
Just to let all you runner people out there know.
Yeah.
Also, although America only won 47 gold medals at this Olympics, the most important one was American John Taylor, was a member of a winning medley relay team, making him the first black American to win an Olympic gold medal.
What? All right.
So congratulations to John Taylor. Unfortunately, 4 months after winning his gold medal at the age of 26, John Taylor developed typhoid fever and died.
Jesus, please.
I know. I really brought us up really high and just crashed us down, didn't I?
Way to ruin that story.
I know. Last words by John Taylor. His life motto: "I dare greatly, and I shall live as no ordinary man bound by a game of chance." That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either, but it sounds really good.
Though.
Sounds really good.
That's smarter than anything I've heard Nick Toffanelli ever say.
Yes. So, I give you that. Now, before we go to break, we take a commercial. Can we recklessly speculate and do this off the top of our head before we go to commercial? What is Julio Jones worth in a value in a draft pick? Because yesterday I went as far to talk to our friend Alex and said, could the Packers give up the 29th? Now, looking back on it and hearing things and reading things, Randy Moss was worth a fourth round pick. That's what the Patriots gave up. Randy Moss was a fourth round pick. Not a pick. That's what he was traded for.
Yeah. But
where does Julio go now?
Where was Randy Moss in his career at the time? I think Randy Moss still had value.
This is 2000.
He hadn't been having injury.
It's a 2007, before the 2007 season, right?
Yeah. So how long had he been in the league?
5 years, maybe?
No, more than that. He played in the 90s.
11, you think he was drafted, what, 98? No, he wasn't. Was he? Was he? Yeah, he was on the 99 team, right?
It's real easy. Randy Moss. Randy Moss. Love his name.
Julio Jones does have a very big contract, though.
Okay. Why is it not telling me?
But wouldn't that be the thing, though? Wouldn't you sit there and say, like, if you're like, I'll give you a second round, they're like, he's worth the first round, and be like, Julio Jones has a very big contract. And like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm buying you out of this.
4.2540. Let's see.
I run a 4.25. I don't know. I'm just lying. I'm lying. just doing it just to fill air right now.
Touchdown record. Dang it, where's it at? High school, college. 1998. First round, pick 21.
Okay.
So
and then 9 years later.
So yeah, basically 9 years later. So this Julio was, if we look that up.
I don't know if you can just say this Julio like he's a random guy.
No, Julio was drafted, I want to say, around 2010, 2011. No,
one or two. He was one. He was one.
Yeah,
he was
the first round. But I'm just saying, all right, yeah. I think he's had a better career at this point than Randy, because Randy didn't do very well with the Raiders and had some issues. Yeah, okay.
What do you okay me?
Well, we're trying to decide what he's worth here. I think I said yesterday when we were sitting there, I think he's worth more of a second or third round pick.
I would not disagree with that at all.
I mean, we're looking at a guy that we
going to in his 10th year in the league.
32 years old. Yeah,
he'll be going in his 10th year in the league, kind of like Randy Moss.
But whatever, he's 32 years old, so I don't know. I mean, does he have 4 good years left? Okay. Do you give up that for 4? You know what I'm saying? Do you give up a first rounder for 4 years? I
understand that it's like 15, 14 years ago, but my point is that Randy Moss was a 4th rounder, and now we've over-evaluated draft picks to where they're at and people where they're at as well.
Right.
He's a 2nd or 3rd rounder. Okay. So why is it? I'm wondering why 31 NFL teams are not on the phone. If Fontenot's going to say that Atlanta's listening to offers, how are you not on the phone?
Well, because you're going to have to eat some of that contract.
Fine.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you as if you're trading for him, and Atlanta's not going to eat all that money. Mm-mm. That's why they want to get rid of him.
Of course.
So, who has cap space and who has cap space and needs that bad? That's the question. Where would he be a fit? I'm not well versed on cap space, but let's just say where would he fit right now? I could see him fitting with the Jets. He could fit with the Dolphins, Cincinnati. Detroit's in need of something. Possibly the Giants. New England.
That's because of the Randy Moss thing. That's the first one that comes up.
Okay.
Like, New England would do something like that, but
all right, Chicago.
I don't know.
Indianapolis, maybe. Ooh, Tennessee's really in need of a wide receiver.
There you go. So I'm just saying that if you got a second round pick out there, get out there and do it, and you've got the cap space to do it.
Space on that stuff.
All right, let's take a break, then we'll call Emily Van Buskirk when we come back. Read me an ad.
We'll do that. Front Street is the oldest brew pub in Iowa, and it's banked right along the mighty Mississippi here in Davenport, Iowa. Been doing it since 1992 with great beers like their Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and Jaber's favorite, the Cherry Bomb Blonde. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials, or go to the webpage, www.frontstreetbrew.com. Try them today. The restaurant, 208 East River Drive, the tap room in the Freight House Complex.
You like that? You like that?
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cash.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
We always use drive-through windows for fast food and banking. Now the Quad Cities has drive-through taxes with AmeriFile. Don't let COVID delay your tax refund this year. For the safest way to get your taxes done, use AmeriFile's drive-through tax service in Moline and Davenport. Stay safe in your car. Drop your tax stuff off, and your taxes are prepared, contact-free. Go to AmeriFile.com or call AmeriFile 762-8087.
It's not okay to live life feeling lousy when you can fix it. Limitless Mail has helped thousands of men erase lousy symptoms like trouble sleeping, no energy, loss of muscle mass, poor concentration, belly fat, low sex drive, depression. These are signs of low testosterone that can be eliminated. Take the quiz and schedule your complimentary consult at limitlessmale.com. The men's health experts. Insurance accepted.
Hi, car needs a tune-up. Getting ready to finally hit the open road.
A road trip, huh? Got a Febreze car vent clip in there?
Febreze car vent clip?
Oh, yeah. Can't have a road trip without Febreze. Freshens your ride for up to 30 days.
Do I pay for installation?
Nah, it's easy. Watch, you just clip it in and...
That's fresh.
Your Febreze car vent clip is ready to go.
Thanks for the car vent clip.
Send me a postcard.
The Battle of the High Schools is coming to Cordova International Raceway this Sunday. It's an all-teen event where schools battle to get the most points. The school with the most points wins the traveling trophy to display in their school. Teens only, and race any car you want. Gates open at 9 a.m. and the track is hot at 10. It's the Battle of the High Schools this Sunday at Cordova International Raceway. For more information, visit racecir.com or visit them on Facebook at Race Cordova.
Cleaning your fuel system can make your car run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner and add it to your tank during your next fill-up. On sale now, buy one, get one free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by and talk to our professional parts people today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Start with everyone whose mom was even more superhuman than usual this past year, like super duper human. Now narrow it down to those who want to show their appreciation but haven't quite found the time to get a Mother's Day gift. For you, there's Walgreens with Hallmark cards, fragrances, and personalized photo gifts you can create and pick up the same day. Personalized? Ooh, she'll love that. Shop Walgreens for gifts she'll love in an instant.
This week, get up to 60% off photo gifts. Offer good through 5/22. Restrictions apply. See walgreens.com/photo for details.
I'm Steve Weissman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says the Niners have narrowed it down to Alabama's Mac Jones and North Dakota State's Trey Lance with their third overall pick. But head coach Kyle Shanahan isn't ready to announce his new quarterback, even if he's getting plenty of suggestions.
Do we know exactly who we want? Maybe, probably, but maybe not. I mean, I do go to restaurants. I do go to my kids' soccer games. Every single person, whether it's a ref, an umpire, another parent, everyone has a strong opinion. And then most people let me know.
Elsewhere, Rappaport also reports the Falcons have been getting trade calls for all-pro receiver Julio Jones and could move him after June 1st for salary cap reasons. And two longtime NFL vets are hanging it up. Cowboys Pro Bowl linebacker Sean Lee is retiring after an 11-year career, while Cardinals offensive lineman Marcus Gilbert is calling it quits after 10 years. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, you don't need to be a magician to pull 20% savings out of thin air. All you need is a bucket. Yep, you can magically save on 3 or more items with a $2.99 Napa bucket. So use whatever magical catchphrase you want, like Abraca Bucket, or Alica Savings, or Bippity Boppity Bucket, and save 20% today. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/21.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest sports news and join the conversation. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Don't Hassle So Local on AM 1170 live on Facebook.
You know, maybe I should just get stuff together here and
yeah, you you didn't have this dialed up before?
No, I didn't.
You're too busy over there reading your little papers.
I'm reading little papers, whatever else. I'm excited to
Getting the game ready for me. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. No.
I love the games.
Yeah, the game's gonna be great. You're gonna love that. I'm excited for everybody to play along at home, but not nearly as excited as I am to call our friend who we haven't talked to in 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now.
I don't know.
It's been 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, we saw her on April 6th. She was in the studio, so it's been 3 weeks.
Right. Feels like she was just yesterday.
I know.
I hope she answers.
I hope so too. I was supposed to call at 12:30. It's 12:35.
Oh no, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, it's different time in California.
Hello.
Emily,
Hi.
how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry Jake waited 5 minutes late to call you, but
yeah,
he gets busy doing stuff.
It's okay. I'm used to running late. It's the story of
Don't
my
do
life.
that. Don't say that.
So how things out in beautiful Northern California?
It's actually pretty nice today. It's been, a little bit colder and rainy, which is good because we need the rain. But today we've got some sunshine and it's good.
Yeah,
It's
we're
crazy
80 degrees and sunny here today. So
Oh, really?
yeah, loving life.
Okay.
So
like that.
Jay and I were talking yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
tell me if I was right. I feel that you are going to Cleveland to cover the draft. Is that true?
Yes, I am going to Cleveland to cover the draft.
Will you be in the building?
So it's the way they're doing it this year is a little bit complicated for media because they're trying to obviously still adhere to COVID regulations. But for example, when I covered the draft in Nashville, we were there on the red carpet. We were in the room. We were on the stage at various points. And this year, it sounds there will be no red carpet coverage except for by the NFL. That's obviously kind of a bummer because it's a fun time to interview the players, talk about what they're wearing. Their families are usually there. So that's one of my favorite parts. So that got cut out. But from what I can tell, we've been told we will be in the interview room. So as soon as there's only 13 guys going out of the first round prospects. So, and I posted those guys on Twitter and the others will be virtual. So of the 13 guys there, once they are drafted, they will come back to that interview room where we'll get to talk to them right after they're announced. So that's my understanding. I'm obviously looking for all kinds of angles. I'm going to be interviewing the Stalls people again. 2 years ago, I did a story on the jerseys and how they make it in that room in like 30 seconds for these picks, because they only get to pick like 10 seconds before everyone else. So I did a whole story and shadowed them, as they're making these jerseys in the press in the back room, this tiny little room next to the stage. And I'm going to follow up with them this year and talk about how COVID affected last year's draft, how they did the jerseys that way, and then how this year is going to be different. So I'm hoping to shadow them throughout the first round and see, what that's like from their perspective.
That sounds like fun. So since
Yeah.
we last were together and we did our mock together,
Mhm.
obviously Baltimore with a big trade with Kansas City. Your thoughts on that trade?
I think it's so hard with the trade, you know what I mean? And I feel like even when we get to Thursday, I remember sitting there 2 years ago and things are happening. And I think it's good. I think it's a good trade, for them. But I'm just so reticent to even say, okay, this is what they're going to do or this is set in stone because there's so much time still and people making moves. So trades to me they're great, and I think it puts teams in good positions and people get good things in return for them. But unless you actually do something with that pick, which remains to be seen, then it may be worthless. It could be worthless, you know what I mean, unless you make a good pick. So I hesitate to comment on how good trades are until after I see what the teams do with them. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. Yeah, see who they draft in that spot and if it was worth
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
'Cause great, you could be in a good position to pick somebody up, but unless you make a good choice for your team, then it was really a pointless trade that you're trading away some of your future for. So
and I'm with you in that aspect, and it was a
Mhm.
head scratcher because I feel that the problems that maybe set Baltimore back a little bit were the fact
Mhm.
that Marshall Yonder retires and they had some injuries
Right.
on their O-line, and you're trading away a Pro Bowler? I'm like, come on, man. They just don't grow on trees. And
Right.
like, what are you doing? In like Kansas City, their whole thing was, well, we got to build our O-line. Well, they've done a pretty good job so far. I would say I like what Kansas City has done. If you look at free agent acquisitions in this trade, man, Patrick Mahomes is going to have plenty of time to throw from his sidearm, parallel to the ground. So, I'm like, you give probably the most athletic freak I've ever seen play quarterback, which seems like a very great O-line on paper.
Yeah.
And it's, wow.
I like that. We've talked about that, about building out O-lines to protect quarterbacks because that's important, and not enough stock is put into it. Guys will drop like one offensive lineman and call it a day, but it really takes a unit and guys that, can work and grow together. So I'd like to see a couple teams this year, specifically ones that are going to draft good quarterbacks, try and build out around them a little bit, which will be interesting because I feel like it's never a priority and it should be.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, but we'll see.
So we're playing a game later today.
Well, you don't steal this.
Why? I'm going to tell her.
Is it the Fire Bench Cat game?
Yes.
It really is. How did you know that? How did you know?
Because ever since we posted that that podcast, it's been nonstop people kind of talking about it, and it was so much fun to record that with Chrissy. Like, we had such a blast just dialing up people and having different players play. It was one of my favorite podcasts, but it's a good game.
Oh, I love it. I mean, and its origins come from F, Marry, Kill, which are a line from Step Brothers, which is just great. And so I'm like,
Right.
it was genius, and yeah, Jay's got some stuff all lined up for me. I'm excited to play later. So
That's good. You should be. You know what's funny is I learned more from that game than any other kind of thing I've read about the draft, especially at the end of the podcast. I have on somebody named Sean O'Connell, who played football at Utah. He's a UFC fighter, and he covers Pac-12 football. So he actually changed my mind, complete 180 on Penei Sewell. So,
Okay,
I
that's
was very
interesting.
staunchly right, exactly, because I've come out and been like, we don't know enough. I don't think he's as good as everybody said. And then Sean said, well, hold up a minute, and he gave me all these examples. So that's definitely worth listening to at the end of the podcast because he said some things about Penei Sewell that really made me think, okay, maybe I was too quick to judge this kid, and there is more to his story, and he could be this generational talent that Sean thinks he's going to be. Because it's important to listen to the people that cover these guys day in and day out, and so he made me take pause, which very rarely happens, and I will rarely admit it, but he did sway me on Penei Sewell, so I was like, okay, I'm going to give this guy another chance.
I like it.
I don't think I like it, Emily.
I like it. See,
Because you were so.
She's not like my wife. My wife is very stubborn. She won't admit she's wrong ever, no matter what.
I put a lot of stock into you, Emily. So like every time Penei Sewell comes up, I'm like, oh, F that guy. Emily doesn't like him. I'm out on him.
It's not that I don't like. I mean, I feel, and one of the arguments that was made is, okay, body of work. How much can you really know about somebody when they didn't play a whole season? Especially because it is a what have you done for me lately? Yeah, and he didn't play the most recent season. So you're and when I'm telling Sean that, I'm like, okay, you're looking at numbers from his freshman year where, yes, he cleaned house. He was a beast, one of the best, O-linemen we've ever seen. And I respect that, and I take that into account. But I told Sean, I was like, I still needed to see something else to be sure. You can look at 2-year-old film and say, great, but it is what have you done for me lately? So that's my pause with him. And of course that's still there. I'm still concerned about it. But Sean talked about where he came from and his family and, his work ethic and things about him from a personal standpoint, which I think is important when it comes to drafting and putting this much money into young players. You want to know how they're going to spend their money, who they're going to be around, what kind of trouble they're going to get into or not get into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think their values do matter. And after hearing a little bit about his, family-based upbringing and very much like that, I thought, okay, then maybe if his work ethic's there, he's got good values, then that is a good investment for a team, regardless of what we've seen him do recently. So that was what I was swayed on a little bit.
You know, kind of the thing you're talking about too. What have you done for lately?
Right.
I see Gregory Rousseau dropping. You know, look at his pro day, things like that. Kind of the same thing. Yeah, he was really good 2 years ago, whatever it was, when they had the film. But he's still young, and then you look at it, and he's been dropping down lists.
I know, and it's pretty crazy. I have to shout something out really quick.
Sure.
How about this Jimmy G news? I don't want to say I told you so to everybody in the world, but hearing that he may not even be on the roster on Sunday in some cryptic message that Shanahan's saying, that's pretty interesting, is it not?
Explain the cryptic part of it, though.
Yeah, because I didn't hear this yet.
I don't know. It's not that okay. So basically, when he's talking about the draft, Kyle Shanahan, he comes out in the press conference yesterday, and he's talking about Jimmy G being healthy and how his injuries have contributed to this decision to trade up and get a quarterback because Jimmy G hasn't been healthy. Now, I've been saying this about Jimmy G since the day the Niners got him. He has never. I've stood next to him in a Sharks hockey box, and I was like, I could pick this guy up and break him over my knee, me physically, and that's not something that inspires a lot of confidence in a quarterback. And it goes back to talking about sickness and how you have to be able to withstand, attacks from the opposing team. And that goes to offensive line. It goes to a lot of things. But Jimmy G, to me, has never been the guy for them in general. I don't think he's built like an NFL quarterback. So, he has this up and down time with them. He gets injured, of course. And now Shanahan's saying, I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive on Sunday, so I can't guarantee who will be on our roster on Sunday. And this is a stark contrast from Jimmy G's our guy, he's going to be with us no matter what. That sentence to me, while seemingly ambiguous, is very telling, because if you're not going to sit here and say, this is our guy, he's going to be the starter, then that means everything the opposite. You know what I mean? It means that could be anything in the world.
Yeah, you can read into that he's trade bait right now, that they're already in trade discussions. Yeah, I feel you.
But this has been a while coming, and this is why I've been pushing Mac Jones for the Niners, because if you're in this situation where you put so much energy and stock into this Jimmy G kid and it didn't pan out, which they're no stranger to that. Look at the quarterbacks that have not panned out for the 49ers recently. So you need somebody who can come in and play a system, an NFL system, and not make mistakes, and can withstand an onslaught from opposing defenses. That is Mac Jones. That is the guy, and that's why I'm so adamant for him to go there. And I think that's such a good fit. That's one of the things that I feel very confident about would work out.
So you think Mac Jones is the way to go?
I honestly do, given with all the choices. Now, this is assuming that things go the way they go. You see Trevor Lawrence go off the board, you see Zach Wilson go off the board, and then you choose Mac Jones. I don't know. I would not take Trey Lance over Mac Jones for them. Not that he's not a better quarterback. I think that he is more athletic, smarter, but Mac Jones is NFL offense ready tomorrow and won't get hurt and won't make mistakes. You know what I mean? So he's like a plug-and-play guy.
I think it's Fields.
That's how I feel.
And I think it's Lance. I love it. We got 3 different opinions. This is so great.
I don't know.
As Jay's wearing his Joe Burrow shirt.
Did you have any pause when you heard the stuff about his epilepsy, out of curiosity?
My pause was legitimately, I don't know enough about it, was my pause.
Okay.
And I feel really dumb, how I don't know how it's going to work. And then listen to Alan Fanaka talk about it and how he took medicine and everything else, and that he should be fine, but it's obviously something that they're going to. But my pause really was am I this dumb that I don't know enough about it? It was my own pause.
Mine was more of, why is this now just coming out? We didn't know this about this kid leading up to this. He's been playing with epilepsy his entire life. Wow.
Yeah.
To me, that's impressive in itself, and that he was doing it, and why didn't we know before now? That was my thought on it. Physically,
I'm not surprised Ohio State kept that. You're going to go to a school like that, and it stays close to the vest.
Right.
That doesn't surprise me. That'd be like if someone at Alabama had an injury and we didn't hear about it till way after.
Right.
That's just kind of the culture, I think. So
Yeah, but that being said, wouldn't like somebody who's petty as can be down in Georgia let that news out after he transfers?
I mean, it's a good question. Again, a school like Georgia, I would expect maybe something like that out on the West Coast or from a smaller conference, but big schools like that, there's prices to pay for information like that coming out, not just, physically, but from a standpoint of, okay, this is reputation-wise. Those big programs, they keep that kind of stuff very close to the vest, and if you say stuff like that, then that's how you get on the outs with somebody. You don't want to jeopardize. But you don't see people coming out about Stanford and saying things about David Shaw that I've mentioned, because nobody wants to be blackballed. Nobody wants that reputation in case they're trying to go to the NFL, get a coaching job, go anywhere. You don't want to be that guy. I mean, look, if you watch that documentary that just came out, about the Stanford sailing team and all that stuff, that guy can get a job. I mean, whether or not what he said is true, it is true, but it doesn't matter. If you come out and say these things, you're just done. So
yeah, that was.
I think it's that culture.
That was very interesting.
I've got a few more questions for you. Tell us what we should know about Davis Mills.
Davis Mills, did you? So that was a fun part of our podcast because Davis Mills is one of Chrissy's favorite quarterbacks. God help me, I don't know why. He's a very smart, obviously very smart kid. Any guy that goes to Stanford is going to be a little. They're very smart. They're very smart players. So I can say that. But again, my problem with him is the same thing I had with Panay. Is like he didn't play. I think he played like 10 games his whole career.
Yeah.
Only 4 in the last year, and they aren't great games. When you go look at his film, yes, his drop back is nice. He has very, very nice passing mechanics. And you see all of the trappings of what a good quarterback could be. But it's not enough body of work for me to see how he handles serious pressure. And then you talk about opponents. I need to see him under a very, trying to ward off a very strong defense. He struggled against USC, and they're not even that scary to me. He threw, I think, several interceptions in that game. And granted, he was young. He came in and played off the bat, taking that spot from KJ Costello. But I don't think David Shaw did him any favors, and I don't think he developed, which is the biggest problem with Stanford that I have, is that the players don't develop there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sold on Costello. I think Mills is a really nice kid. He's very smart. He could be a really good backup somewhere, I think is what it is.
Okay, another question. You're a GM of an NFL team. What are you offering the Atlanta Falcons for Julio Jones? What draft round?
For Julio Jones, it's so hard to put values on how do you guys do this? I want to know what Troy would say.
How about this? If I am...
What is Julio Jones worth?
I think he's worth a second rounder. But but the teams I said, if I'm Carolina, maybe I give them because I think they would be a team that would be a good fit for him. Gives somebody some weapons. I'd be like, hey, I'll give you my 39th overall, and we're good.
Yeah, I could see that a high second round.
You go a little bit lower because you're taking that contract. Oh, the other thing, Emily, how often are you around the Oakland Athletics team?
That's a very complicated question.
Okay, but I mean enough that you might know people at the Oakland Athletics organization?
Yeah, so one of my best friends is their beat writer for The Athletic. And
well,
then one of my other good friends.
This is fantastic.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
I just saw the other day that one of their base coaches is Mark Kotze.
Okay.
And he happens to be my second favorite college baseball player of all time. So either we got to figure out a way to cameo that he talks to me, or I get an autograph or something. We just got to work some things out.
Oh yeah. No, that's totally easy. You got to come out and come to a game. That's what you need to do.
There you go, Jay.
You don't understand how much I
you're
love
always
Mark
making Emily
Kotze.
come see you. You go see her.
Yeah, I got to get out there then. Yes, you don't understand. We named our local fast pitch team the Quad City Titans after his Cal State Fullerton Titans. And when I got them,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
I like it. And you would honestly, I just went out to the game when they played. They were playing Detroit, and it was fun because they were on this winning streak. I think they won 12 straight.
Yeah.
So it's been a good time to be in Oakland. I mean, they just lost on Saturday, but it's been fun to watch them. It's a young team, but they're extremely fun to watch, and gotta love Bob Melvin. He's such a great manager. So you got to come out and see a game, and we'll make it happen.
All right. I'll make it happen then, definitely. As long as I get to, like, hug Marcotte, it's all worth it.
Very odd.
Why is that on?
A hug.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for your time. Tell everyone where they can follow you out on social media and your podcast.
Absolutely. I am at Emilnem on Twitter and Instagram, EMILNEM, and the podcast is Sideline Sass. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts, and the latest episode is the Start Bench Cut game with Chrissy Floyd and others. We had a couple, media members come in. We had some player prospects come in and play, and it was fun. Mason Stockey came on and did a fullback one, and people were shocked. So
awesome. Thank you so much for answering the phone call. I love talking to you. Enjoy the draft, and we'll catch up with you next week. We'll get some draft takeaways from you, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome, Emily. Take care. Enjoy the time out there, and have safe travels, all right?
All right, thank you, guys.
See you, my friend. Take care.
Bye.
All right, we're going to have to take a quick break here. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
May 1st. Savings are mail and rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Clay's Cleaning Service has a spotless reputation.
Take care of the windows. Hello, this is Clay.
But his business operations could use a light dusting.
Boy, I had you scheduled for next week. I'll just check here. No, absolutely. We will be there tomorrow.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Shanae and Golick Jr.
Milwaukee built this up the right way. They built it around the superstar and built it as well as you could have, but this is starting to look more and more, should they fall short this year, like Milwaukee becoming a fancy, high-powered version of the Toronto Raptors before Kawhi got there. Meaning you can be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference during the regular season, and you're going to hit an understandable ceiling. Like, they ran into that LeBron James ceiling for years, and for Milwaukee, Giannis may have chosen a bad time to put up in the Eastern Conference and say, I'm going to make my home here, when all of a sudden James Harden and these guys came and decided to make Brooklyn their home.
People want to win now, and at some point, the criticism is going to come to Giannis, unfortunately, because he's been that successful so early. And so, well, when are you going to win? Hopefully it's this year, because then it'll quiet all those critics. But I don't know about that with Brooklyn out there and Joel Embiid out there. I don't know about that, though.
Shanae and Golick Jr., 3 to 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is here to keep your car on the road with the right parts, advice from our parts professionals, and our free loaner tool program. Your local store has more than 80 specialty tools available for your next repair. Refundable deposit required. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask about our free loaner tool program, or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Run with us on a John Deere Z365 RZ track mower, built for taking it easy. With the Easy Change 30-second oil change system and standard mulch control to control your clippings without any extra effort. Because lawns aren't just for mowing, they're for living. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a new Z300 Series zero-turn mower with 0% APR for 24 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 1-800-226-8903.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Even if you weren't playing the best, which Mitchell Trubisky was not at the beginning of the year, even though the defense was stepping up their game to a different level and making him look decent, you're still undefeated. I don't understand why you get benched for Nick Foles at that time. And we're seeing it across multiple landscapes of different teams. When that relationship becomes fractured, that's hard to get back. And I think that relationship between Trubisky and Matt Nagy, the way Matt Nagy handled that with a guy like Nick Foles, that he brought in to say, hey, let's steal this thunder, I don't think you just get that back. So for anybody that's like, oh, why we sign Andy Dalton? We could have got Mitchell Trubisky. I'm sitting there saying, if I'm Mitchell Trubisky, I don't want to go back to Chicago. Clearly. Why do I want to go back to Matt Nagy? I want nothing to do with you. You go ahead and you take all that bad karma and you keep it right there.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
PointsBet understands that in sports, it pays to be fast. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Whether you're a bettor or a baller, a sharp or a sharpshooter, if you're making money or just plain money, sports is speed. Luckily, your sports book can keep up. When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards at your fingertips. Plus, right now, PointsBet is giving customers the best odds on all pro sports. That's better odds and bigger payouts on our lightning fast app because PointsBet knows every second matters. Time is money, and it pays to be fast. PointsBet has the best odds on all pro sports, so download the app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. See for yourself why bettors are calling PointsBet innovative, lightning quick, and the reason they have ditched the other books. Download the app now to experience Iowa's premium sportsbook for yourself. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
Attention homeowners!
All right, everybody, we are back here in the Hassle Castle. I want to thank Emily for letting us call her and be on the show.
You can always tell when I mess up the ads before the hour when it goes into the next break beforehand. Computers, man, computers.
You're the best.
Yeah, I kind of am. You're right. Anyway, I want to thank Emily for talking to us and answering the phone call. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like we've mentioned at the beginning of the first hour, Thursday night's the draft. Going to be interesting as all heck. We talked yesterday, Alex. It's pick 3 that's going to change the entire draft. 4 is going to be 1, and where do I see things? I don't see something like this. I don't see anybody actually reaching up to 4, even though if I was Atlanta, I would get out of there. Because I just don't think I think teams out there don't want to do that risk on Trey Lance moving up and having him be in a Mitchell Trubisky type of situation. That's what I think. Or Justin Fields. How's that? Because we don't know. Or Mac Jones. Because we don't know what's going to happen to 3. But nobody wants that hanging over their head. And especially if you're in Atlanta, like I said, new GM, new head coach, you're in between a rock and a hard place. I'd trade out of there, build draft capital, look what the Dolphins have done, look what have done in the past, and they learned that from the Patriots. Draft, getting more picks in the later rounds than the other, because you don't really know how well things are going to work out in the top 5, which, by the way, thanks to the people at CBSSports.com who ranked like the top 5 at every position 1 through 32, which is going to lead us into our game. Start, bench, cut.
All right, I made some quick changes to mine.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville at 25 is now going to take Tevin Jenkins. Baltimore at 31 will take Samuel Cosmi.
Okay.
Philly at 37 is going to take Carlos Basham Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina at 39 will take Tyson Campbell, and the Chargers at 47 will take Asante Samuel Jr.
All right. What?
In case someone wrote down all my stuff.
Well, I want to, I want to obviously take a picture of it, put it, and throw it out there on a post. But do you have, just real quick, do you have the full list of, like the draft picks? Can you just say, just for example, can you just tell me where I can do it too? What are the Bears? What are the Bears picks this year? I mean, what numbers do they have overall?
The Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Boom. They have, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
They have 8 picks.
Talk to me, yeah.
Yep. They have the 20th.
Yeah. No.
The 52nd.
Nope.
The 84th.
Nope.
The 165th.
Okay.
The 205th.
All right.
The 209th from Seattle.
Okay.
The 222nd.
Got it.
And the 229th. Those last 2 picks are compensatory picks.
So the 165th, that's got to be in the 6th round, though. 5th round?
Yep. They have no 4th round pick.
Can I talk Jacksonville into trading Gardner Minshew to the Bears for a 165th pick?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Dude, if I'm the Bears.
So here's why I think, like, for example, I think Dallas wants to either go defensive end or offensive tackle in their 2nd round pick, or defensive line. Defensive line, possibly edge, depending
Uh-huh.
on who's there. If they're trading up, I think they're going for an O lineman because I think they really like, and it depends on who falls. I think they really like Tevin Jenkins. I think they really like, because he's Oklahoma State guy. Follow me here.
Yeah.
Just things that I know, just picking up from Jerry Jones. So, like for Dallas, for example, they have 10 picks in this draft. So obviously the number 10, the 44, the 75. So first, second, third. Another third round, they pick at 100. But then they pick at 116 in the fourth. They get another fourth at 139. They get a fifth at 180. They get a sixth from Detroit at 193. And they get a sixth at 228. And they get a seventh at 239. So they are loaded with picks. I can see them saying basically to Jacksonville, if the guys that they want still available, listen, we'll trade up to your 33rd. We'll give you the 44th or possibly trade up to the 25th, depending. Maybe give them the 44th and the 100th. And they still get a first, second, and third. You know what I mean? In essence, they still get 1, 2, 3, but they get 2 in the first, or they get the 33rd. To me, the 33rd is almost the first. But yeah, there's a couple teams with 10 picks. That's just this Tankathon app is really great. I click on any team you want to know. If you tell me, I'll tell you how many picks they got.
The only one I care about is Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
Why I don't understand how giving up a fifth rounder is that big of a deal. It's not. Do it. Listen to this guy. What he's got in his career is 2 years.
Listen, I was talking about that.
He's got an over 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
So that lady that did the thing on Twitter that I just saw,
almost a 4-to-1.
Hold on, let me look this up real quick. You calm it down.
He averages 11 yards per completion.
Okay.
He averages just over 240 yards per game passing. He has a 93.1 quarterback rating. This guy is a gem just waiting to be stolen for a 165th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And he's fun.
He's fun because of his mustache.
Monsters of the Minshew.
Monsters of the Minshew. Where you find your love of stuff is hilarious to me.
Let me tell you something here.
I like him because I can rhyme his name with this.
Well, Monsters of the Midway, whatever else.
I know where it's going.
100%. This is the way. Listen, if there's Bear fans out there that get so upset about this $10 million for the Red Rocket, throw something in the mix that they can get excited about. Red Rocket, he has some trouble. He goes out. Foles, we know him. He doesn't do well. And then Gardner comes. Soldier Field just gets lit up like the 4th of July. People are going to be so excited for him. They got their next version of the Punky QB. It's only taken, 35 years? But hey, it'll be there. I don't know what you're doing on your phone over there, but I feel like you're just
looking this up for you.
I don't think you're excited about my idea of
Michelle. I'm going to badger this name, Majuziak.
Mm-hmm.
She writes for All Things Ball Blast Football.
Mm-hmm.
So she did her mock draft. And just so you know.
Sure.
She's got your Bears taking Kyle Trask at 52.
I would love that, but I'm just saying they don't need to take him at 52.
Okay.
They don't need to take Kyle Trask at 52 if they can give up their 165th rounder, and they've got a guy that's, I know he's older because he'll be 25, but he's got 3 years in the league. You still have a friendly contract. The Jaguars don't need him.
Well, could use him as a backup. He's not costing him nothing.
No.
I mean, something, God forbid.
I don't know why anyone's actually, by the way, not calling for him or anything like that. And
Maybe they are.
I don't blame the Jaguars for not trying to shop him, to be honest with you, because you never know what's going to happen. But would you, if you're the 49ers and you've got Garoppolo, Mac Jones, and then Nick Mullins, wouldn't you rather have Monday Night Minshew than Monday Night Mullins Night Football? Look at the 49ers. You can't automatically pencil in the 49ers to win the NFC West after what happened last year. COVID, injuries, not having a stadium. You don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and I think the Rams are going to be improved. I don't know what's going to happen in Seattle. You would have to think that Arizona will be better. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
They don't have a very good
unfortunately,
coach.
our friend from Chicago, Peggy Kaczynski, she's busy this week. She's not going to be on the radio. We'll talk to her next week, but we might have a good idea about what's going to happen. Anyway, would you like to play a game with me, T?
Yes, you know I do.
We're going to play Emily's start, bench, cut, but I'm going to use this as a piggyback off of the CBSSports.com did the top 5 at every draft position, number 1 through 32.
So when you're saying they drafted, guys that
went
for the
number 1,
first overall.
First overall.
Okay.
And I'm just going to give you 3. I'm not going to give you the top 5. I'm just giving you 3.
Position.
I'm picking the 3.
Got you.
Now, eventually, I know you, T-Roy. I know you well enough that you'll go, can we throw in somebody else? Can you give me another name? Because you're going to change it a little bit to make it your way.
No, I wouldn't do. You always say I do that.
You do it. I don't know why you don't lie to the people out there.
Why do you think I do that?
So, do you want me to go by a certain number? Do you want me to
just do it? You go in whatever little order you want, because I don't want you to think I'm
well,
trying
let's
to
get
manipulate
people
your
excited.
game.
Let's get people excited. The number one, number 1, the top 5 at all time. Now, I'm not going to give you the top 5. I'm going to give you 3 names that went number 1 overall.
Okay.
The top, just the 3 names that I have, they are listed in the top 5.
Okay.
And you are going to decide. I'm going to start this person. I'm going to bench this person, or I'm cutting this person. All right.
Okay.
In no particular order.
Okay, just give them to me, you goofball.
John Elway.
All right.
Bruce Smith. Peyton Manning. Who are you starting? Who are you benching? Who are you cutting? The number 1 overall in the Super Bowl era that we think that might be in there.
I'm starting Peyton Manning.
You are starting Peyton Manning.
His backup will be benched in John Elway.
You're
and
benching...
I'll cut Bruce Smith.
And give me the reason behind that.
Because quarterback's the most important player on the field.
Okay, that's fair. I can't argue with that. That's yeah.
I mean, Bruce Smith's great. He's a Hall of Famer. I get it. But you just gave me 3 Hall of Famers. So what do you want me to do?
Well, hopefully the majority of them should be like Hall of Famers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
But yeah.
I don't like that analogy about the quarterback thing. It's the most important player, but it is. Because I don't want to. No, I don't.
And
I think
it was tough for me to
I,
say Manning, but you got to go Manning just because. I mean, yeah, multiple Super Bowls. Elway multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah,
but
the MVPs, everything else.
Manning, the Manning had your team in the discussion every single year, no matter.
Now, don't stick to that. Don't stick to this mantra that quarterback's the most important because I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I hope you don't.
In that scenario, I had to.
Okay, I hope you don't.
Okay.
Number 2.
Okay.
At number 2, drafted in the Super Bowl era.
Okay.
I feel like I'm talking like a random person just tuned in for the first time. All right. At number 2, drafted in the Super Bowl era in the NFL draft.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to start one, you're going to bench one, you're going to cut one.
I get the concept.
Do you?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I know. Marshall Faulk. Lawrence Taylor. Sid Luckman. That's right.
Marshall Faulk,
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Taylor.
That's right.
Or Sid Luckman.
That's 100% correct.
I'm going to start Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bench Faulk.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting a guy. Anybody named Sid Luckman, he's gone.
Okay. All right. Would
what? And by the way, I got
I'm not
Fick's
done.
giving me a hard time.
What? Fick is a quarterback. He's going to say, he's a
Fick's
quarterback.
with me. He's with me. Thanks, Ryan.
What?
He agreed.
Okay.
Manning, Elway, and Smith.
Okay.
Yes.
Start, bench, cut. Ryan Fick, Pat Anger, or Tavian Banks.
Oh, man.
I think I have a pretty good history involved in this. Knowing,
oh, man. I'm sorry, Fick. You got to start. You got to start Pat.
Fick's a quarterback.
I'm sorry, but you got to start Pat.
He was a quarterback of a state championship team.
But what I'm getting at is, Fick, I'm out, he says. You got to start Pat just because he had the lengthier NFL career. Bench Tavian, he cut Fick.
Oh, but he's a quarterback.
He's reportedly he's in the 49ers are interested in him too. If you follow
in Fick,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He says he's going to the XFL.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm in. Yeah. I love it.
That's so mean. You did that.
All right.
All right. Go.
This is a tough one. At number 3.
All right.
I'm just trying to figure out who the third person is because I'm pretty much I already know who you're going to cut. So okay.
Well, you don't know.
No, I know.
You don't know.
All right, at number 3,
Okay.
you're going to start, bench, cut.
Okay.
Barry Sanders, Larry Fitzgerald, Anthony Munoz.
Jeez. Well, you're cutting Munoz.
That's what it doesn't. The options are not the cutting ones are still there.
Now, this
if I
is
gave
tough.
you Merlin Olsen, what would you say? You cut him. If I gave you Joe Thomas, what would you say? You're cutting him.
All right.
So
Well,
it's
yeah,
really
all right,
between
all right.
Barry Sanders and Larry Fitzgerald.
I'm starting Sanders.
I agree with that. At number 3.
That's a tough one. Wow. All right.
Okay, at number 4.
Okay.
All time. Charles Woodson, Mean Joe Green, Walter Payton.
Oh, dear pleases.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's a good. It gets. Some of them get better. You think like 1 and everyone remembers 1, 2, and 3. There's some real deep ones when you get
I'm
longer.
sorry.
than this.
I'm starting Walter Payton.
Yeah, I would too.
Now it's between Charles Woodson and Mean Joe Green.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's really tough, Jay.
I know.
I'm going to bench Woodson, and I'm going to cut Mean Joe.
I know.
Man.
And I don't disagree with that.
That is
also.
so hard, though. I mean, that Mean Joe Green was so good. So was Charles Woodson. How do you? Oh my God! All right,
It's gonna get better.
Good Lord.
It's gonna get better.
All right.
You ready for number 5?
Yes.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
Deion Sanders. Junior Seau.
Oh,
good
Lord.
That's a tough one. That is a huge tough one.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm starting Prime.
I'm
starting Prime.
I agree. A shutdown corner that basically took away a third of the field. Yeah.
And then you got me going Junior versus LT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm benching Junior, and I'm cutting LT. And here's my thought: Seau had the longer career. Led his team to a Super Bowl. LT obviously had that one great year. He was a great running back. I'm not trying to diminish anything he did, but Seau defensively led his team to a Super Bowl. They ultimately got the crap kicked out of him by the 49ers, but Junior Seau was just
again two great defensive guys.
But prime Deion Sanders, man.
Tomlinson was good for that short time, and you know what the thing is. The problem is that this is about the time Tomlinson, in my opinion, and Sean Alexander also, is where you hang the NFL stands for not for long banner on these two, because they were great. They took over. They were exciting. They were great running backs, but they didn't have a long career.
Right.
They had great short season. They had great seasons that might have lasted maybe one or two more.
LT probably had 4 or 5 good seasons.
All right. Not as fun at number 6, but we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
John Riggins, Jim Brown, Sammy Baugh.
Jim Brown.
Mm-hmm. Start Jim Brown.
Bench Riggins.
Bench Riggins.
And cut Baugh.
Sammy Baugh. Okay. Okay. Number 7, top 5, and number 7 of all time.
Okay.
I'm giving you 3 names from the 7th pick in the NFL draft in the Super Bowl era. You have to start, bench, cut one out of these guys. Adrian Peterson, Champ Bailey, Sterling Sharp.
Oof. Adrian Peterson starts.
Okay.
And where are the other two? Champ Bailey and
Champ Bailey, Sterling Sharp.
I'm going to have to bench Champ Bailey and cut Sterling Sharp only because his career got cut short.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it, period.
Let's do number 8 and then take a break, okay?
Okay.
At the number 8 position, I'm going to give you 3 names that were drafted at the 8 in the NFL draft in the Super Bowl era. Ronnie Lott, Lance Allworth, Larry Zonka.
Well, you're starting Lott.
Yeah.
Probably cut Allworth. Bench Zonka.
So it's going to get fun. 9's good. 10 is good. 11 is good. The names that are out there that are actually later on in the draft is a lot of fun. And so this is why also pay attention to this draft as it goes on. Obviously, we're saying the 2021, 3 is where it's going to get spicy. 4, where it could get interesting. 7, where there's probably going to be trades moving around. 9 as well. But it's the names that are going to be coming on in the double digits rounds. Not rounds, but the double-digit picks that you're going to remember, and there's a lot of guys out there. It's not going to get easier, T-Roy, for you to do your start bench cut.
Right.
But read me a promo, and we'll be right back here at ESPN 1170 AM.
Locally owned since 1934, our friends at Tri-City Equipment have been your source for restaurant equipment and value ever since. If you're looking to cater an event or you want to get a gift for your home chef, you can try them online at tricityequipment.com or stop down to 527 West 4th Street and talk to our friends Kurt, Tara, or Kevin, and they'll show you around their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom. Remember, they deliver to all Quad City residents and match online pricing, so no need to go any further than to call them at 563-322-5382. Showroom hours Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says the Niners have narrowed it down to Alabama's Mac Jones and North Dakota State's Trey Lance with their 3rd overall pick. But head coach Kyle Shanahan isn't ready to announce his new quarterback, even if he's getting plenty of suggestions.
Do we know exactly who we want? Maybe, probably, but maybe not. I mean, I do go to restaurants. I do go to my kids' soccer games. Every single person, whether it's a ref, an umpire, another parent, everyone has a strong opinion. And then most people let me know.
Elsewhere, Rappaport also reports the Falcons have been getting trade calls for all-pro receiver Julio Jones and could move him after June 1st for salary cap reasons. And 2 longtime NFL vets are hanging it up. Cowboys Pro Bowl linebacker Sean Lee is retiring after an 11-year career, while Cardinals offensive lineman Marcus Gilbert is calling it quits after 10 years. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, you don't need to be a magician to pull 20% savings out of thin air. All you need is a bucket. Yep, you can magically save on 3 or more items with a $2.99 Napa bucket. So use whatever magical catchphrase you want, like Abraca Bucket, or Alica Savings, or Bippity Boppity Bucket, and save 20% today. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/21.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's the safest way to get your taxes done this year. AmeriFile's new drive-through tax window. AmeriFile's tax offices in Moline and Davenport are fully opened with convenient and safe drive-through tax prep windows. Just like a bank, you drive up with your tax documents, stay in your car, and with no human contact, your taxes are prepared safely with the maximum refund possible. With over 35 years of experience, AmeriFile staff handles any tax situation, and AmeriFile gives you deep discounts if you used H&R Block, TurboTax, or recently closed AARP or Martin Luther King Center last year. Just go to AmeriFile.com today.
AmeriFile has the best tax prep deal in town. Your taxes prepared safely and for half of the price of the other guys, plus get free Chick-fil-A. AmeriFile can handle any tax situation, from W-2s and earned income credit to more complex taxes like itemized deductions, small business, and more. Schedule your tax appointment today for our drive-through window or in person. Go to AmeriFile.com or call AmeriFile in Moline or Davenport today.
Just do it. Stop dragging yourself around feeling like you don't have to live this way. I repeat, you don't have to live this way. What you need is to replace the testosterone you have lost over time. Make an appointment at Limitless Male Medical. They will change your life. And don't do it tomorrow. Do it today. Make an appointment at Limitless Male and get your life back. Just do it at limitlessmale.com. The men's health experts. Insurance accepted.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great race, we gave this game day jam surprisingly great lyrics.
I want a race that's great. Who is this? Free him tonight.
neighbor, State Farm is there.
You want cash. You want to get stuff done. So what do? You buy 5-Hour Energy, of course. You upload the receipt to 5hewin.com, then find out if you've instantly won $10, $100, or even $1,000. Then you drink that 5-Hour Energy and cut through your to-do list like a hot knife through butter. 5-Hour Energy, the official sponsor of Getting Stuff Done. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 and a legal resident of the U.S. Ends June 30th, 2021. For rules, visit 5hewin.com/rules. Void where prohibited. Message and data rates may apply.
Attention homeowners! We know March, April, and May mean mild weather and the slowest months of the year for our business. So we've got great news for you. TMI is slashing prices and giving away deluxe furnaces for half price with the purchase of air conditioning. That's right, half price furnaces. Great utility and manufacturer rebates, plus this half-off sale means huge savings. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get the best deal of the year. Estimates are free, so call today. TMI, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we are in the middle of playing Start, Bench, Cut. We are on to pick 9, and Jay tells me it is going to get better.
It's just going to get so much harder to do. More names out there.
I had
just
to
going to
stretch
cringe.
during the break just
You're gonna
so I
cringe.
could be ready for
oh,
this.
I want to do this. So, basically, I took a list, thanks to our friends at CBSSports.com. And I've looked at other things before, like The Athletic did a nice article last week of the best pick at every number from 1 through 32 during the Super Bowl era of the NFL draft, and even some sleepers that panned out, and even some busts. But they did this. They gave me 5 names, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take 3 out of 5, and I'm going to ask T-Roy, what would you do? And I'm asking you, the listeners, the Hassle Maniacs out there, so you can just play along when you're in the car, at work, or play along on Facebook Live and leave comments out there what you would do as well. Would you start? Would you bench? Would you cut out of the 3 names I give you? We've been through all the way through pick 8. Now we're at 9. I'm going to take a little turn here.
You're taking a turn.
Well, it's not going to be so offensive heavy here, okay? This time, I'm going to give you a pick 9. 3 names that win at number 9 in the NFL draft, and you have to decide start, bench, cut.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Brian Urlacher.
Okay.
Dick Butkus. Bruce Matthews.
Urlacher. You start Butkus.
You start Butkus, that's right.
You bench Urlacher.
Yeah. Did you just really pick up that South Chicago accent there on that one? Okay.
Urlacher. And who was the guy?
Bruce Matthews. Yeah. What do you mean, who is the guy?
Who's the guy?
He's a Hall of Famer. He's
I
like,
know.
yeah.
That's a good one. Urlacher.
Butkus.
Oh, Todd, your knock course is ready.
Butkus.
You're my little dicka.
10's going to be tough as well.
Butkus.
I hope that maybe you might need to struggle a little bit more. You did at 9 there.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, goofball.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Marcus Allen. Jerome Bettis.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, that happened.
All right. Mahomes, Marcus Allen, and Jerome Bettis.
That's right.
Oh, dear Christ.
Wait till I tell you 2 more names that win at the number 10.
We'll just tell them to me now.
Rod Woodson, Terrell Suggs. These are the top 5 that went at 10 overall.
Oh, my God. This is so hard. Oh, boy. All right. Man.
All right. Marcus Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jerome Bettis.
All right. I'm going to start Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
Because of the potential. Man, that is so tough.
Uh-huh.
I bench Marcus Allen.
Really?
And I cut the bus.
Oh, wow.
That was so hard.
That's so tough.
I mean, you're not... who do you cut?
It's so tough. And then you can even throw in Woodson and Terrell Suggs.
I would have... I mean, and the argument is, for me, is who do I start, Mahomes or Marcus Allen?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, both Super Bowl MVPs, by the way, I believe. Good Lord. All right.
Okay.
And Bus was, he was pretty good.
The Bus.
He was pretty good.
Number 11.
All right.
It's not going to get any easier.
Okay.
Start, bench, cut. Ben Roethlisberger, Michael Irvin, J.J. Watt.
Easy.
Okay?
Start Irvin.
Yeah, I agree.
Bench JJ.
Yep.
And cut the rape man.
I'm with you 100% on that. Cut him. Cut Big Ben. Didn't like him when he was at Miami of Ohio. I didn't like the idea that when they were running through the entire thing when he was a rookie, he hasn't lost since a loss to the University of Iowa. Just pinpointed as like not a big deal to lose Iowa, whatever else, how good he is. Nope, I'm out. Cut Big Ben. Never liked him. I like the Steelers front office. Love Mike Tomlin. Don't like Big Ben. I'm ready for a new regime there at a quarterback. Good. I'm glad you did that. And I'm all in on Michael Irvin. I don't care if he's got a coke ring that he's part of or whatever else.
He just does a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a player. He just crushes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 12. Here's your names.
Okay.
Warren Sapp, Clay Matthews Jr., Marshawn Lynch.
I'm going to start Warren Sapp.
Yep.
Bench Marshawn.
Okay.
And cut Clay.
I'm not as big on Clay. I'm actually there with you as also. I'm not a big like Clay Matthews Jr. guy. He's
Warren Sapp was just an incredible beast at his position for years. An insanely good player. And a character.
Yeah.
Just an awesome character.
This one kind of spreads all over the place. That number 13. So if you're talking about like our age, and then recent, and then nostalgia, this one's there. This one's gonna hit all of them. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna start. You're gonna bench. You're gonna cut one of the three at the number 13 of all time in the NFL draft. Aaron Donald, Tony Gonzalez, Franco Harris, and this one touches on all of them. Yep.
Aaron Donald,
Tony Gonzalez, Franco Harris. Is Franco in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
So right now, Gonzalez is the only one in the Hall of Fame that we know of.
I'm going to start Tony Gonzalez because he is the best tight end of all time. I'm going to bench Aaron Donald, and I'm going to cut Franco Harris.
Yeah. I'm not too off on that one at all. Obviously, you know more about Franco Harris because the Steelers. It was the Steelers, the Cowboys, and this and that growing up in the 70s. There's the Immaculate Reception, that part of it. Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Famer. Aaron Donald is going to be a Hall of Famer.
But my thing with Franco Harris is, and just going back to his era, he wasn't the best running back of his era even. I mean, it was definitely started out. I mean, there was three guys basically in that era that were the best. Walter Payton, Tony Dorsett, and Houston Oilers.
Earl Campbell.
Yeah. Jeez, I drew a blank. Those are the three best, and it was just insanely. It was them three, and then everybody else was just so much further behind them three.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. No, that's easy for me.
Okay. It does get drops off just a little bit coming up here. So I don't want to get too far off. And at number 12, bench.
You mean number 14?
Number 14, sorry. Yeah. Start, bench, cut. Jim Kelly, Darrelle Revis, and Gino Marchetti. Exactly. The Gino Marchetti you're gonna cut.
Yeah.
So it's between Jim Kelly and Darrelle Revis.
I'm cutting Machete. Machete.
Yep.
I'm starting Jim Kelly. And I'll bench Revis Island.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Kelly come on.
At number 15, not the best names ever, so we're going to pass over it.
Well, just give it to me.
I'll give you the top 5. You want me to I'll give you the top 3.
Give me 3.
Alan Page, Jim Taylor, Dennis Smith.
Okay, cut them all.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's where I was trying to get at there. All right, at number 16.
Okay.
Start, bench, cut. Javon Curse, Troy Polamalu, Jerry Rice.
I'm starting Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
That's easy there. Polamalu is on my bench.
Yeah.
And Curse, the freak. He
Yeah.
was really good. But, man, Jerry Rice, come on.
At number 17.
Okay.
I'll just cut for you. One of the three, okay? All right. And then you can work from... No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, start, bench, cut. Emmett Smith, Mel Renfro, Gene Upshaw.
Well, you're starting Emmett.
I don't know. Gene Upshaw is the president of the Players Association. He seems to have done a lot for the NFL.
Sure, he's not a country music western singer.
I think he's done a lot. I think maybe you might want to start him. He's kind of a big deal.
Cutting Upshaw. And then who was the other one? Renfro?
Yeah.
God, Emmett went number 17.
Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty good pick at 17 right there.
Yeah.
It's good value.
18 isn't very solid. So we'll move on.
Come on, just give it to me. We can make fun of it.
Art Monk.
Okay.
Paul Krause. Marquise Pouncey.
Well, Monk and Pouncey.
There you go. Cut Paul Krause.
Yep.
I'm with you. Number 19 overall in the Super Bowl era.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison, Randall McDaniel, Sean Alexander.
Well, Harrison starts.
Okay.
Alexander bench.
You're going to cut McDaniel?
Yeah.
He had that face paint, though, stuff. Wasn't he the one that did that?
I don't know. Good for him. Oh,
Wasn't
yeah. I forgot he played for the
Vikings, right? Yeah. That's got to be a
That's
steal at 19
toss-up.
for him.
Yeah, it's a pretty good steal.
Number 20,
Okay.
Jack Youngblood, Steve Atwater. The rest suck. Just so you're gonna start or bench those two. The other ones are Forrest Gregg, Maxie Bohan, and Bill Brown.
Well, Forrest Gregg was a great player.
Okay, so Jack Youngblood, Forrest Gregg, Steve Atwater.
Youngblood's my starter.
Yep.
I mean, dude was an assassin. Steve Atwater and bench, and Forrest Gregg cut.
Okay.
Atwater's pretty good, but Forrest Gregg, some old timers would probably take Forrest Gregg over Jack Atwater. But Atwater brought some wood, man.
All right. 21 and 22 are going to be fun. We're going to go 21, then we'll do 22, then we'll take a break. Are you ready?
Okay.
At 21, the 21 overall in the Super Bowl era, start, bench, cut. Randy Moss, Lynn Swann, Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork, sorry.
Vincent Wilfork.
Vince, yeah.
I'm going to cut
Randy Moss, Lynn Swann, Vince Wilfork.
I'm going to cut Wilfork.
Yep.
Start Moss.
Okay.
Bench Swan.
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that.
Although Swan had a Super Bowl ring. Actually, 4 of them.
Yeah. All right. We're sticking to the receiver theme.
Oh, boy.
At number 22. Start, bench, cut. Andre Rison, Justin Jefferson, Demaryius Thomas.
Oh, God. I'll take Justin Jefferson as a starter. Because
Really?
This kid's going to be
Over
something.
Andre Rison?
I was never a big fan of Andre Bad Moon Rison.
Not
And
even when he dated Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC?
And I'll take Demaryius Thomas over him.
Not even after she burned down his house because she lit his sneakers on fire in a bathtub?
No.
Bad Moon Rison?
Not a big fan. I liked it when Dion beat him up.
Andre Rison, Justin Jefferson, Demaryius Thomas. Okay. I think that's fair. I'm not going to argue about that. All right.
Why don't you tell me about Tim Hernandez?
I will in just 1 second. Don't tell me what to do. As soon as I can find it.
You're the one telling me what to do.
Yeah, I know. I'm always barking or whatever else. Oh, jeez, Murphy.
Wow.
I got busy doing something here.
Well, you were playing start bench cut.
Huh?
We're just playing
Well,
start
you
bench
guys
cut.
are. I mean, they already know about it, but I'm going to tell you more about Tim Hernandez anyway, because you guys know about him. He's a friend of the show. He was on when we were down just less than 2 weeks ago down at Front Street Brewery. Tim joined us there and got to share his story, not only about how his background of playing baseball at St. Ambrose and being a coach, and how all the things that he learned from his coaches and being a coach helped him become such a great realtor here in the Quad Cities. He's licensed in both Iowa and Illinois. We employ you to call Tim Hernandez at 508-7221 to get a hold of him for all of your needs as far as when it comes to properties or flipping a house or investing in properties or buying and selling a home. He's licensed in both Iowa and Illinois. He's part of the EXP Realty team. It's Tim Hernandez at 508-7221. Like I said, he's really great. If you already have a property and you maybe feel overwhelmed because, finding tenants or dealing with tenants, or I don't care if it goes all the way down from lawn care, he can help you with it. If you're looking to maybe investing money and getting a property, he will find the right one for you. And if you're a fan of these DIY shows, you want to flip a home, you think, hey, this is going to be a good idea. I'm going to buy a home cheap. I'm going to flip it. He can help you with this as well. And it is a seller's market. Tim's the guy to get right now. 508-7221. He's located here in the Quad Cities. He's been here for many years. And just a great dude and a great coach and can help you along the way. Any questions that you have, he can guide you along that as well. We'll be right back here at Don't Hassle Us Local here in ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Len Casper, the voice of the Chicago White Sox. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170.
Baseball players may not get style points for home runs, but baseball bettors do. New BetMGM customers can turn $1 into $100 when someone goes yard during a game. Sign up for the BetMGM app using code Foster100, and if you place a $1 moneyline wager on the Cubs or Braves, you'll get $100 if either team hits a home run. And after the baseball has left the park, there's no reason to leave your seat. Discover BetMGM's innovative parlay selection builders, daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code Foster100 to win $100 when you bet on the Cubs or Braves and either team hits a home run. Swing for the fences with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older, Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Do you suffer from lower back pain, knee pain, foot pain, or fallen arches? Do you? If yes, just stop and write this magic word, G-Defy, G-D-E-F-Y. What is G-Defy? G-Defy is the footwear designed by Gravity Defier Medical Technology with the worldwide patented VersoShock sole. Their shoes are clinically shown to relieve pain by a double-blind clinical study conducted by Olive View UCLA Medical Center. You can try a pair for 30 days with free corrective fit orthotic inserts. If you're not satisfied, just return the shoes for a full refund and keep the free orthotics as a gift. Put an end to suffering. Save $20 and get free shipping from Gravity Defier when you go to gdefy.com/radio and use code RADIO. That's gdefy.com/radio, code RADIO. You have nothing to lose but your pain.
All right, is that a Q2 or Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
Nah.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement, ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Nissan believes you deserve a car that thrills you. So we have to ask, does your car thrill you? When you hit the pedal, do you get something back? A chill in your spine, goosebumps on your goosebumps. When you take off, do your fingers tighten around the steering wheel? Does your heart beat in your stomach and your breath catch in your chest? Does driving make you feel alive? Because it should. And if your car doesn't thrill you, ours will. This is the new Nissan.
I'm Steve Weissman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says the Niners have narrowed it down to Alabama's Mac Jones and North Dakota State's Trey Lance with their third overall pick. But head coach Kyle Shanahan isn't ready to announce his new quarterback, even if he's getting plenty of suggestions.
Do we know exactly who we want? Maybe, probably, but maybe not. I mean, I do go to restaurants. I do go to my kids' soccer games. Every single person, whether it's a ref, an umpire, another parent, everyone has a strong opinion. And then most people let me know.
Elsewhere, Rappaport also reports the Falcons have been getting trade calls for All-Pro receiver Julio Jones and could move him after June 1st for salary cap reasons. And two longtime NFL vets are hanging it up. Cowboys Pro Bowl linebacker Sean Lee is retiring after an 11-year career, while Cardinals offensive lineman Marcus Gilbert is calling it quits after 10 years. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, you don't need to be a magician to pull 20% savings out of thin air. All you need is a bucket. Yep, you can magically save on 3 or more items with a $2.99 Napa bucket. So use whatever magical catchphrase you want, like Abraca Bucket, or Alica Savings, or Bippity Boppity Bucket, and save 20% today. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/21.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Follow us on Facebook at ESPN 1170 AM. We are the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Okay, guys, we are back. Jay's promised me this is going to get even better.
Now I feel like I'm going to let you down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you
All
down.
right, you
Get
better
out of
not.
here.
All right.
All right, we just got done doing. What was it?
Number 22, and now we are on to 23.
Now we're on to 23.
I just cut Andre Bad Moon Rising.
All right, 23.
All right.
Bench, start,
bench.
cut. Start, bench, cut. Ty Law. Ozzie Newsome. Ray Guy.
Start Ozzie Newsome. Bench Ty Law. Cut Guy.
All right. Yeah. That one's not as fun. Not much fun. Okay. I got a good one for you.
All right.
At number 24. Just trying to figure out which route I want to take here. All right. At number 24. Start, bench, cut. Aaron Rodgers, Ed Reed, Des Bryant.
Oh, God.
This is when things get fun.
Wow. Well, you're starting the AA run.
Yeah, you're starting AA run.
Oh, man. Ed Reed will be your bench, and Des will be cut.
Mm-hmm. 25's okay. Nothing too exciting. Santonio Holmes, Dante Hightower, Ted Washington.
Cut them all.
Fair. At number 26.
Cut them all and let me start Des on that spot.
Yeah, at number 26. Ray Lewis, Alan Faneca, Clay
Faneca?
Matthews.
Clay Matthews again?
Yeah, well, it's just Clay Matthews. What's the other one before? I
Clay
had
Matthews Jr.?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
All right, well, we're cutting the Matthews guy.
Yeah, good. Get rid of him.
And we're going to start Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And Alan Faneca will be
He could kill you, though. That's why you need to start him.
Yeah, I'm not getting shot.
You never
I'm
know
not getting
about
shot.
that. Yeah.
No.
I got a fun one for you at 27.
26, you mean?
27. No, that was 26. The last one was 26.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
27
right.
at 27.
Okay.
Man, oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to give you Dan Marino, Roddy White, DeAndre Hopkins.
Roddy White?
Roddy White.
And DeAndre Hopkins?
That's right.
Well, I'm starting Dan Marino.
Okay.
And I'm benching... who's the third guy?
DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm benching Hops, and I'm going to cut Roddy.
Okay, does these names throw anything in the mix to you? D'Angelo Williams or Devin McCourty? No?
They're probably better than Roddy White.
Okay.
But they both get, they're not better than...
Then I feel good about the three names I gave you then. Okay. Number 28. Derek Brooks, Darryl Green, Mark Ingram.
Ooh, boy. Those are 2 Hall of Famers right there. That's
Mhm.
tough. I'm just going to go Darryl Green.
Yep.
He was insanely fast. And then
He had a
Brooks.
very good smile, too.
Then Brooks will be on my bench, and then I'll cut Ingram.
All right.
Man, those were 3 good dudes right there.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough one. All right. Number 29.
Okay.
Why does his name keep coming up? Fran Tarkenton,
Yeah.
Nick Mangold, Harrison Smith.
Well, you start Fran.
Yeah.
Mangold is your bench, and I don't know who the other guy is.
I feel like I should, at some point, maybe waste 20 minutes of time and watch like old YouTube clips of Fran Tarkenton.
I mean, he was. I mean, it was to
I
me.
know him- you know
to
what?
me, this was the rating system in the 70s. Okay,
Yeah,
it went Roger for sure.
Yeah.
Roger,
Yeah.
but then Terry,
Yeah.
and then Fran.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm honestly, like, I know those guys, like,
I mean, there was
in my
a few other
backyard.
decent quarterbacks.
Legitimately, like, in my backyard, I'm Terry Bradshaw, I'm Roger Staubach, but Fran Tarkenton was a guy that was on Inside the NFL.
No, he was the first like scrambling quarterback, dude. Eddie Deerfield probably has his tattoo on his butt or something.
Number 30, Reggie Wayne, Eric Allen, T.J. Watt.
Reggie Wayne, Eric Allen,
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. Well, I'm cutting T.J.
Okay.
I'm not sure who Eric Allen is.
Yeah.
I'll just
not
start.
giving too much, yeah.
I'll start Reggie. And this Allen guy, I don't know.
Yeah. 31 doesn't really have too much to it, to be honest with you. Cameron Haywood, Greg Olson, Curly Culp. Not good.
Well, Cameron Hayward, I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. In the order you gave him.
Okay. I agree with that. All right. 32, finally.
Okay.
Drew Brees, Lamar Jackson, Benjamin Watson.
You nailed it.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really goes in that order. It's
Yeah.
not, yeah. So
That was pretty fun.
there's some good ones. Like the numbers
You
are
with your
important.
fun little games.
Yeah, look at this. Thanks to Emily, a little hat tip to her for starting that on her podcast. Guys, make sure you definitely go and listen to her podcast out there, Sideline Sass. Emily's just tons of knowledge. I'm happy that she's going out to the draft, and she's
a
going to
trendsetter.
she's going to come up with some type of strange and weird story that's awesome. Like she said, 2 years ago she followed how they did their jersey so quick. And there's not going to be a lot of people out there this year, but she always finds a story that's different than the norm, which is what we appreciate so much about her. Tomorrow we'll have a phone call interview. I believe finally we're going to talk to Leah from Cedar Rapids. And Adrian's scheduled to be in studio with us. On Thursday, we're going to have Merrick as well in studio. While the weather is nice and you like it out there, we want to remind everyone to go out to Hidden Hills Golf Course at 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf, Iowa, just north of the TBK complex out there. And that's on Competition Drive. That's where Oscars is as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can always call out there at 332-5616 for tee times, or go to hiddenhills-golf.com to find up different things that they got going on. Mike's always putting things together. We'll talk to Mike tomorrow because we have to do our DFS. So we will definitely we'll do our weekly segment for Hidden Hills Golf Course in our DFS, what we're doing there, what we're putting our money on, what we like. But yeah, all kinds of things going on there. Yeah, if you're going to go out and about, get out there and golf a little bit. When are you haven't yet this year, have you? We have our golf outing June 19th, by the way.
No,
if
I
people
gotta
want to go
swing
sign
it
up,
soon.
go out there and sign up at the Pines, sign up for our golf outing, Par for the Pork, which will be June 19th. But yeah, are you guys doing a league anymore?
Yeah, that starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
I
Harrington's
can't
Pub
play in
golf.
it. I won it, and then I couldn't play in it.
What, the winner gets kicked out?
No, I just too many things with the child, man.
Yeah.
And then Jay Money, my super, good-looking partner.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things going on in his life too. He couldn't play.
It's a tough one. It's tough when that happens.
So when you win with the guy, you go out with the guy.
There you go.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, it's a busy day. I mean, Tuesday's always a busy day on my end too, but I've got practice for one of the kids and practice for another one, and
happens. And I just figured the older she gets, the more crap I'm going to have to do.
It's true.
This is how it works.
It is true. You remember 2 years ago, before we sign off here or whatever else, remember 2 years ago they had the elementary school that my kids go to, the talent show?
Yeah.
And Beef did we did the lyrics
we can't start the fire.
We didn't start the fire, changed it for his school, whatever else. So they got a new talent show, but everything's virtual.
Yeah.
A little frustrated by it.
It's all right.
You can submit your stuff or what ahead of time, like kind of like your rough draft, your, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then it's at the end of the month, they're going to take all the videos and put together and make some Zoom if you want to watch it. Here's what's weird. You can't do multiple people in your talent show thing. Whereas before, let's say like my daughter she's in 5th grade. Right. And there's parents that started well before Sophia was even in Paul Norton, kind of did like boys and girls in 5th grade kind of did a thing together to the talent show. Kind of like that's the end of their time at elementary school, right? Well, now they're saying, even though you're videotaping it in your own home, you can't have multiple people in there unless they're part of your family. It's a little crazy, don't you think? I mean, they're going to school, they're playing. I just
told.
told.
We got? All right.
No.
Well, here's
Listen,
something I heard.
Here's what I'm saying.
Here's something I heard. So
Okay.
you got the new school open up at Forest Grove.
Sure.
So there's going to be some kids that are transferring from other schools.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go there. They've gone so far as to make sure that they have a counselor meet with the kids to discuss their move to a new school to make sure that they're okay. They're wasting money to hire some psychological profiler to make sure. Now, the funny story is that I know there are a group of kids that are going from one to the other.
Yeah.
They all live in our neighborhood, and they all got called in together. And then, so this is how short-sighted this counselor person was that did not realize the three kids live within 100 yards of each other. Actually, within about 50 yards of each other.
Simple Google map search would have been just fine.
And they all play like on the same teams together and stuff
they
like
do.
that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like, yeah, we're all cool. We're all going.
Yeah,
together.
we're good.
You guys, you are like.
Do you have a problem you need to talk to us about, adult person?
Like, why are you?
Seems like you want to talk to somebody.
Why is it like I don't get it. Like when you're going to a different school. Hey, you're going to a school this year. Okay.
So let me tell you a quick story.
Unreal,
then.
man.
Let me tell you a quick story about
Waste
2
of
years.
money and
2 years
time
ago. In energy, 2 years ago, at the Bettendorf Community School District, they shut down Jefferson Elementary, and they were moving the kids up to Mark Twain. They're expanding on the Mark Twain on 18th Street. The Jefferson
Which
parents,
is done now.
Which is done. The Jefferson parents, there were plenty that said, like, oh my goodness, our kids are going to Mark Twain. They're going to lose their identity. They're no longer going to be known as Jefferson Jaguars. Now they have to be Mark Twain Steamers. What's going on? You need to rename that school Mark Twain because that's not their identity. You guys need to figure out a new name for that. That way it's all inclusive. You hear me out on this?
The parents started this
Oh,
movement?
absolutely.
Well, they should be fired.
And you know for a fact that rarely do I get in on like social media and like write a comment because I don't want anything back. But I wrote to some person whom I do not even know. Never looked him in the eyes, never shook hands, never said anything. And I said, I know for a fact that in 1985 when they closed Jackson Elementary School and those students came to Herbert Hoover and the ones from Hoover went to Paul Norton when it opened in 1985, everything was fine. They didn't have to rename a single school. Everybody transferred just fine. And you know what the response was? I didn't live in the school district then. That's your as an adult, just like, oh, I didn't live in the school district then. Yeah.
Eddie, when we were kids, his elementary school, got closed right before we were going to junior high. So we would have been 5th grade.
Yeah.
And now he didn't come to Irving, but some of his people from his class came to Irving, and I don't remember where he ended up having to go. He probably could tell me anything, but the same thing happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I'm starting all the children that are just fine. I'm benching any type of adult that's getting paid to do the stuff, and I'm cutting the parents that stick their nose where it doesn't belong. So that's going to be it. All right, that's going to be our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to have Adrian in. We're going to have phone calls. We're going to have phone calls. We're going to do everything else. We're getting closer and closer to draft. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks for playing along today for our start bench cut, and thanks to Emily for calling in. We will see you guys later. Enjoy your day, Quad Cities. Stay safe and sanitized. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.